It's Dragon Source, sexiest man alive, alien slayer, demon slayer, superhero. And we're live on New Earth. Let's go. So, this video is about modern capitalism and slave versus master morality. Now, you look around at the modern culture, and economically and politically, we see a very clear dichotomy, right? This whole system is slowly eradicating the middle class, and you could argue there never really was one. It's basically polarizing everyone to either be the master or the slave, right? Either you go dominate the minds of a bunch of people and convince them to work for you and build your product, while you get rich, right? Live the lifestyle promoter on Instagram, the modern entrepreneur, trophy wife, sports cars, TED Talks, Dragon TED Talk. All right, this is my TED Talk audition right here. Okay, just let me make sure I'm getting it right. Now, Friedrich Nietzsche talked about something called slave morality. What is that? Well, he associated it with a religious dogmatic thought process. It kind of correlates to how they paint Jesus in the New Testament. Some white pussy bunny rabbit thing that, Easter bunny and Jesus. I wonder what's the correlation there. But basically someone who values just being kind, herd morality, right? Just like kindness, sympathy, togetherness. What other words can I use to describe it? Don't rock the boat. Power is dangerous. While deep down they yearn for power, they just feel too weak to ever attain it. So then what they do in slave morality is they tear down anyone who does have power. But the people who are getting power in this capitalistic system, 9 times out of 10 are going about it in a very demonic way. And it's very justifiable to be mad at a lot of them, how they're going about it, because they are just manipulating and deceiving people. It's like the wolf over here and the sheep over here. It's like the society is kind of forcing you into one of two categories, right? So we just covered how the sheep thinks. Well, but how does the wolf think, right? The wolf is like, look, all I see on this farm are a bunch of sheep. That's all I see. Sheep are only good for 2 things: meat and wool. I can't train a sheep to go hunt me more food in the forest. I can't, strap a saddle onto a sheep and ride it. I can't attach a plow to it and have me tend to my farmland so I could plant more seeds in it, right? It's like, I can only use you for so many things, and your whole nature is to be used. So it's like the elite, that's how the elite looks at the average person, is like, all right, you guys are all just sheep or chattel or slaves. We're going to go ahead and create these religious structures for you to give your power away to, where you can all be docile and moral. And covertly, we're going to convince you that keeping in accordance with the laws of your religion is really the same thing as keeping in accordance with the laws of the government. Or it's like the religious laws and rules mirrors the government's laws and regulations. They tend to mirror each other culturally, right? In America, things have gone a little left, we won't get into that here, but at least the starting point, the religion is generally tied to the government, right? It's oftentimes really the same family's intellectual property that created the religion as the government system, right? So they have everyone going to the church house, praising Jesus, getting on their hands, knees, and feet, whatever, singing their slave tunes, drop $1 in the pastor's bucket he's passing around in the church. Well, what's the difference between that and paying your taxes? What's the difference between thou shalt not steal and nobody stealing back their stolen property and resources that the government stole from us in the first place. Like, what's the difference, right? It's like the government is just playing your god, essentially. And there's no hope for the herd there because they're sheep. They're like, the human race has been bred out to be slaves. Um, think about it. Think about this historically, right? All the great revolutionary men were either killed or put in prison, meaning oftentimes before they could reproduce, meaning those revolutionary genes did not get carried on, right? So you had to be somewhat safe for society in order to even reproduce, unless you just really got ahead of the game and did it early in life. But either way, even if you did pass on those revolutionary genes, if you're captured by the government or killed, or like in Django Unchained, they try to cut his nuts off, right? Metaphorically, they try to cut man's nuts off in this society. So at that point, I got to use more hand gestures, right? That's what they like in the TED Talks. Use my hands, convey a message, right? Just, ugh. You know who I am? I'm the magic man. Now, where was I? They do not want you to grab your balls and actually do anything beyond the slave morality system they gave you, right? And you see this in the social justice warrior culture now. It's like anybody who really tries to speak on the real problems and the mental plagues going through our society just gets shut down. And when I make videos that go into the real problems of society and spirituality and the matrix, or whatever you want to call it, like when I'm really attacking the real root problems at a spiritual level and really giving real solutions, those videos don't get views. like like the algorithm doesn't promote me when I talk about the real stuff. You know, when I come with the holy flaming sword, I don't get promoted. So it's like, all right, there's just no way around playing the game for this YouTube thing to even be worth my time, because how else am I going to even get views for people to listen to what I have to say? So how does a master think, right? We've covered how the slave thinks pretty well. The master is only interested in one thing, that is keeping power and getting maximum yield out of his slaves, or his chattel, cattle, farm animals, sheep, the herd, whatever you want to call it, right? It's got them all lost in his religious structures. Modern religious structure is really pop culture, celebrities, movie stars, TV shows, and especially the musicians, right? Those are the modern cult leaders, right? There's pop culture. Everyone has access to it over their smartphone or TV, right? Or laptop. So like that's the new religion, is basically pop culture, and the algorithm decides who gets put on. If we're talking YouTube or Instagram. Now, if we're talking TV in the movies, then you guys know who owns that industry. I don't need to go into that here. They're deciding who gets put on there, who gets to be a star, who doesn't. And the same people owning that are the same people that are controlling the government. So it's like this whole thing is a power structure designed to slowly edge out men like me and like you, if you made it this far into the video, or if you're a woman, you know, congratulations, you got some real ovaries. So yeah, there's no hope for this world. It's just, save your own spirit, and if you can save anyone else's spirit, that's just a bonus. I've been trying to save you guys' spirits. I've been making videos about how karma works and twin flames and how the reincarnation trap works. Like, I've been making videos to try to wake you guys up, but those don't get views and very few comments. adequately expressing appreciation for them. So I'm probably not going to make as many real deep, dark, occult, spiritual videos anymore because it doesn't seem to be worth my time, you know. But when I talk about, how to distinguish real friends from fake friends, or is this person right for you type energy, oh, 200 views, 500 views, 1,000 views, like, okay, so I see what's being promoted. It's just pop culture, spirituality, nothing actually dangerous or rocking the boat. If you guys want my rock the boat material, you can go back to my older stuff, but especially the beginning. I pulled no punches. So anyway, in conclusion, the master is just looking for maximum yield out of his slaves, and he's going to keep them numbed out. He's going to give them the religious structures. He's going to give them the government structures. He's going to run them through the educational system to sculpt and mold their minds, right? So that they grow up to be good little slaves that don't rock the boat too much, right? And this is all called being moral, being morally righteous, not to violate the commandments. And the 10 Commandments, if you want to look at it from an occult perspective, it's not even necessarily what you guys think it's talking about. Thou shalt not commit adultery is really talking about thou shalt not marry anyone else's problems, right? You got to put what they're talking about. It sounds physical, but put it in the mental realm. Thou shalt not marry anyone else's problems, anyone else's flunkness, right? Like, don't carry burdens that are not your own, right? What else? What else? Thou shalt not cast judgment. Well, why do we have a whole judicial system? the hypocrisy there. What else? What else? I mean, yeah, you should honor your mother and your father, but really, they're just talking about themselves. The government thinks they're your mommy and daddy, so it's like you see the covert mind tactics going on here. I could go in deeper, but I don't want to go on too much of a tangent there. So, I mean, the final conclusion is it's always the same thing. Like, we got to take our power back. We got to form our own society. That's why I'm starting Source Nation, in which I'm the president. Dragon Source, the sexiest man alive. You already know who it is. All right. I got my business, Source Consultations. You can check the description for my phone number and general description of that business. Basically, you're just renting my mind to solve your problems for you and do the alchemy to transmute whatever stagnant energy you may be stuck in, right? Payment is made at the end. Honor system, sliding scale, $1 to infinity, based on your budget, however much it was worth to you. All right. In conclusion, take your power back, grab your balls or your ovaries. Don't get rocked to sleep by the government or religious systems or the social justice warriors who are just the revamped, basically pimped out new version of government psyops to limit free thinking. And speak your truth to the end. Just to the end. To the end. Be you. Speak your truth. Be beautiful. All right. I now raise the sexy meter of my audience. Sexier, 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 and sexy. All right. Like, subscribe, comment. I want to know your thoughts on the topic. Share this video to whoever needs to hear it. I now command my spirit to take all the thoughts in my head, drop them into my heart, and make me totally real on the Creation Light Ship New World timeline, where I make a viral video ASAP. 54321, 54321, and 54321. Done.